The Greek government sounds its displeasure with the International Monetary Fund over its insistence on more austerity measures as part of reforms that Athens needs to implement in return for bailout loans. Prime Minister Alexis Tsipras conveyed the message in a meeting with EU President Donald Tusk. He urged Tusk to call an EU summit to help facilitate negotiations with the debt-ridden country's international creditors. Also on Wednesday, the Greek government spokeswoman accused the IMF of undermining the latest negotiations and also making demands that went beyond the original bailout deal.
The IMF is making demands which go beyond what was agreed. These demands undermine effort by both the Greek government and the European institutions.
In reaction to such comments, Eurogroup chief Jeroen Dijsselbloem said Eurozone finance ministers will meet on debt-crippled Greece within the next 2 weeks. Greece has been in a state of economic crisis since 2009. It has received 2 bailout packages worth a total of $272 billion from its 3 international creditors, the IMF, the European Commission and the European Central Bank, known as the Troika. Last year, Greece's leftist government struck a deal with the Troika after months of torturous talks to receive a third and massive $95 billion rescue package. The government in Athens has pledged pension reforms, tax hikes, privatization and also deep spending cuts, which have resulted in public anger and constant waves of strikes and protests. But now Athens says the other side is using Greece's economic and financial vulnerability as a tool to gain concessions from the country. Last week, Tsipras called on the creditors to review their policies, adding that his country was more in need of debt relief than austerity measures. The insistence by the creditors on deep austerity cuts comes as the policy has led to hundreds of thousands of job losses, with many other public and private employees witnessing huge wage cuts. It has pushed a large number of the Greek population towards the poverty line. Official figures show the Greek unemployment rate is currently nearly 25%, with the youth bearing the brunt, with nearly 52% of them looking for a job. As the IMF stubbornly insists on further cuts in the Greek public welfare, many Greeks believe the policy has just aggravated the situation, bringing about nothing but social and economic collapse.